And we have a bang-up show for you tonight. Wells Fargo under fire for fabricating mortgage documents to foreclose on homeowners. That is our top story tonight. And despite the $25 billion mortgage settlement, robo-signing may be alive and well. A lawsuit claims a 150-page instruction manual here details step-by-step instructions on making unauthorized changes to bank documents, allowing the banks to foreclose on a home. The lawyer fighting the bank, Linda Torelli, joins me now. So, Linda, this is your document. You gave it to us. You say that this is the manual that attorneys at Wells Fargo used to instruct people trying to foreclose on homes. What did this tell people?
That document, it's my contention, is simply an internal document and that is basically a blueprint for making up and manufacturing documents where none exist or perhaps the documents are lacking. That's my contention.
Your contention is that in the mortgage meltdown, a lot of documents were missing. If you were trying to foreclose on a home, it would be super difficult because the homes had changed hands so many times. The banks had churned these homes as well. And so if you were trying to bring together all the documentation, it just may not exist.
That's right.
So what did Wells Fargo do?
Well, based on my reading of this document, this is, again, the attorneys who are preparing documents to make up for whatever is lacking in the chain of title.
So they would, you're saying, fabricate this stuff?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that based on this document, and as I read it, it is Wells Fargo manufacturing documents where none exist.
All right, we will read a statement from Wells Fargo in just a second. They don't agree with this analysis, obviously, and somehow you got your hands on a document that was internal to the company. They've confirmed that much. Tell me why you're fighting this so hard. You obviously have clients with claims.
Because it doesn't stop. We went through this $25 billion settlement that was supposed to resolve these issues. And it is still business as usual, not just for Wells Fargo, but for all of the big banks.
So you're saying it's not just this one company?
That's right. I think this is spread across the board. This is business as usual for all of the big banks.
Let me read Wells Fargo's comment. Here's what they say. Wells Fargo's foreclosure process today and back in 2012 are appropriate and legal. To allege otherwise is simply misrepresenting the facts. Our team members carefully review all requirements to properly initiate foreclosures. What do you say?
Well, I say that is not addressing the issue. The document that I provided, which is a manual for actually taking step-by-step instructions, as I see it, to manufacture documents. But their statement is simply not addressing the issue.
Well, I got to tell you, you set a fire under a lot of regulators. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the New York Attorney General, the U.S. trustees, they're all taking a look at this, all investigating. Where does this go next?
Well, my hope is that one of these entities that are doing the investigation will actually bring someone to justice, actually go to Wells Fargo. Maybe we'll actually see a perp walk at some point. Who knows?
You know, when we were covering this the first time around with the robo-signings, a lot of people out there, they said, hey, Jerry, does it really matter that the banks kind of played fast and loose with the documentation? After all, these people had not paid for their house. They hadn't made their mortgage payments. What's your response to that?
My response to that is, regardless of whether someone's behind in their mortgage, which can happen to anyone in this economy, it does not give a bank or anyone the right to fabricate documents and submit them to a court of law for the purpose of enticing a judge to rely on it and actually foreclose on a home.
And tonight, your clients still in a big fight with Wells Fargo, still big issues overhanging from the mortgage meltdown. As you take a step back and think about this, what were these banks to do? The documents really didn't exist. They were empty-handed. They needed to process these foreclosures. The market was never going to clear unless some of this work started to get done. What do you say?
Well, I think the first step in foreclosure for any bank is, first of all, number one, do you have the right to foreclose? Make that determination first. If you don't have the documents, perhaps you just don't have the right to foreclose. And that's certainly not the consumer's fault.
Not the consumer's fault. And of course, boy, there's enough finger pointing to go around to blame everybody just a little bit. Linda, thanks for coming on this show tonight.
You're very welcome.
It's a fascinating story, and we will keep up with you. You keep up with us. We want to know what's happening with these cases. Thank you.
Thank you.